Welcome to the Soulful Valley podcast, the sanctuary for soul-led entrepreneurs, creatives, and changemakers ready to rise. I'm your host, Carey, best-selling author, book collaboration mentor, publisher, and energy alchemist, here to help you tune into your truth, amplify your voice, and align with the frequency of miracles. Each week, we dive into soulful conversations, transformational journeys, and the energies that shape our lives and businesses. It's time to evolve on purpose, because the world needs your light, your words, your legacy. Let's begin. Are you ready to share your soul's truth with the world? We're calling in writers, mystics, and visionaries for 2 transformational book collaborations. Soulful Poems Volume 4 for the poetic voices of this new era, and Evolving on Purpose, Angels, Spirit Guides, and the Frequency of Miracles for those guided by the unseen. Your words have the power to heal, uplift, and ripple across the world. And if you've ever dreamed of being part of something bigger, we invite you to watch the trailers for our international award-winning movie and join our Zero Limits community on Facebook, where we're celebrating global premieres, backstage magic, and preparing for the big launch on Amazon Prime and Apple TV later this year. Check the show notes now to join the movement. Your miracle moment is waiting.
You gotta love yourself with all your heart. If you don't already, it's time to start. 'Cause nothing's gonna work out until you do.
Dr. Tassel Shanebrook is a leading worldwide expert in helping individuals make uniquely transformative shifts in their lives, on the mental, emotional, physical, and subconscious levels. Her foundational method is in assisting clients access and live from their own inner guidance. As a licensed doctor of psychotherapy with 2 master's degrees, Dr. Tassel brings a high level of clinical education. And as a certified hypnotherapist, certified Kundalini yoga instructor, Reiki master, and shamanic practitioner, she employs powerful metaphysical modalities. Dr. Tassel has been featured in publications such as Best Self, Marie Claire, and People magazine. She is the founder of Rebirth Hypnotherapy, author of 10 Initiations and Resurrection, and a star of the spiritual movie Zero Limits with Dr. Joe Vitale. You can connect with Dr. Tassel at drtasselshanebrook.com. Hello and welcome to the Soulful Valley podcast, Dr. Tassel.
Hi! So great to be with you, Katie. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you here. Dr. Tassel is going to give us a different kind of a welcome into the podcast today, because I've just asked her to, because I love how she does this in our community sessions. So, Dr. Tassel, over to you.
Yes, I'm just going to say a prayer, a blessing for all of us, your beautiful listeners. So to any and all beings, we ask for the most benevolent outcome, that this podcast is helpful and beneficial to all who listen to it, that this brings in gifts and treasures and blessings into their precious lives. Amen, aho, and so it is.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Now, Dr. Tassel is one of the people featured in the Zero Limits movie, which is really exciting, isn't it? And I have a few questions for you, Dr. Tassel. Not all relating to the movie, but was there a turning point in your own journey where you consciously chose to become the visionary of your own life?
Yes, I would say there was a specific turning point. Like many of us, I was socialized, programmed to turn away from myself, to, I would say, abandon my own inner guidance, my own intuition, my own values, my own dreams, really. And through the abandonment of myself and following the agendas, the dictates of others, including my family of origin, other adults around me, I had miscreated a life that was not mine. And it became very catastrophic, would be the word. I had breast cancer. I was in a very traumatic marriage. I had no career. I was living in a place that I really did not like. And I was deeply, deeply depressed. Soon after what I've described, I entered into a very acrimonious divorce custody situation with my now ex-husband. And this was a breaking point. This was the start of the dark night of the soul, we could say. And over time, I learned to come back to myself. And over time, I learned to be the visionary for my own life. It took the catastrophic nature of my life to understand how essential it is to be the visionary of our own lives.
That's a beautiful share. Thank you. And I totally relate to that because I've been through all the catastrophes myself of 2 divorces and living a life that wasn't mine. It wasn't what I desired, so I totally get that. The film Zero Limits invites us to imagine a life without constraints. What does living a zero limits life look and feel like for you?
Yes, I love talking about this topic. The way I conceptualize the zero limits living is actually Christ consciousness. And maybe some of your viewers are familiar with that term, but to me, that term means the original teachings of Jesus Christ that have been very manipulated by the religious system. But the original teachings are that we are all powerful creator beings. We are all sparks of God, of the infinite creator, and that we really can create a heaven on earth on this planet through the remembrance of who we really are. So to me, that is zero limits living.
And you can see the big smile on my face because it was when I began creating, tapping into my creativity again, that my whole life changed. So yeah, I totally get that. And I love the term Christ consciousness because it feels true to me. It feels like the truth. And as a former Catholic in my childhood, there has been some resistance to the religious dogma and all of the things that sort of cuts you off from that, isn't there?
Oh, I
Want to
couldn't
speak
agree
on
more.
that? Yeah.
Yes, I've gone through the same journey that you're speaking into. A very negative experience growing up in a Christian church just did not resonate with me. And during my dark night of the soul, dear Mother Mary came to me a couple of times, actually in a holographic form. This sounds really far out. And I did not really connect with Mother Mary because of my associations with her from my Christian negative upbringing.
Yeah.
So I had the same experience. Jesus started to come to me as well in meditation, and I was kind of like, I don't know about y'all. So I had to go through my own process with that as well.
Then you can be as far out there as you want on this show because quite a lot of us are.
Yes, great. I love far out. Yes.
How has self-love played a role in helping you to step into that limitless visionary version of yourself?
Yes, I do believe self-love really is a wonderful foundation to zero limits living, to being the visionary of your life. And two of the aspects of self-love that really help us to do that are A, self-trust, and B, self-worth. and maybe I can just speak into both of
Yeah.
those. What I see so much with the beautiful clients that I work with and what I experienced on my own journey is we are taught not to trust ourselves. That is a real basic program in our society. And that includes the feelings that we have, to not trust them, to think there's bad emotions versus good emotions. In my orientation, I see all emotions as deeply beneficial and helpful to us as guides, all of them. So we're taught not to trust our own feelings. We're taught not to trust our own gut instinct, our inner guidance, our own dreams, our own values. We're taught not to trust ourselves. So coming back to self-trust is a game changer in our lives. That is how we receive our most helpful information, our own divine intelligence that is always there, ready to flow through us when we open that channel and we trust ourselves. So self-trust is an amazing catalyst on this journey. Secondly, self-worth. Again, I would say most of us were taught not to value ourselves, to criticize ourselves, to compare ourselves to others. And to me, a big aspect of self-worth that is very helpful is to take yourself very seriously in all aspects of your life, to not minimize what you have experienced on your own journey, your own challenges, your own initiations, I like to call them, to not minimize what you may be experiencing now that maybe is not serving you, and to really take seriously your own resources, your time, your precious energy, your life force, your money. I feel this is particularly important for women. I know I was socialized to not trust myself at all and to not value myself at all, to only wait for external validation to tell me I was good enough or worthy. So when we take this back, and I see this as a form of soul retrieval, literally as soul retrieval, taking back our self-trust, taking back our self-worth, there is a lot of empowerment with that, and there is enormous resources as we embody self-trust and self-worth.
That's beautiful. And certainly, again, another part of the journey that I had to go on was to come back to me, to deeply trust myself instead of looking at all of these other people around me that I thought at the time knew better than me. But it all comes back to yourself, doesn't it? All of it. Because we've forgotten who we are. For me, it was along the journey of being married to two different people, and that was one after the other, and just becoming somebody who was there to support them rather than me. And then I had 3 children, so I did have decades of where I forgot who I was.
Yes, I can so empathize. I have 3 children as well, and very difficult marriage, and we may feel we are just in survival mode, or we're not maybe even conscious of that, but we're just taking care of people, keeping them alive and making sure they're okay, and not maybe very connected to our inner world where all the treasures are.
Absolutely. And for those who are still stuck in those old patterns, what's one shift they can make today to begin stepping into their soul vision?
Okay, beautiful question. I think the quickest path to moving onto your own soul's vision is presence with yourself. And that word, to me, it's kind of a fancy word. And years ago, I'm not sure I really understood what that meant. Presence. What does presence mean? And all I mean by that is going within, turning your attention, your energy inwards. And it could be through a meditation practice. It could be through being outside in nature. It could be through being with animals. Those are all activities that can help us come back to ourselves. And when we're present with ourselves, we're gonna feel the feelings that are in our body that may not be making it up to our conscious thinking mind. We're going to start to hear our own inner voice, our own guidance more clearly. We're going to hear the whispers of our heartfelt desires. So it's just tuning your channel to yourself rather than to the outside world. Years ago, I used to listen to so many podcasts and books on audio and all sorts of things like that. And now I don't do that very much. I'm very territorial about my time to tune inwards, because that is where all the treasures are, where all the answers are. So presence, just spending time with yourself and listening within. That is the best start.
And that totally resonates, because the time that I got present was when mindfulness came into my life. When I began meditating and I started practicing mindfulness in my everyday life. So even like life has become a meditation, and that is the gift of being present with yourself, and then being present with other people, the people around you, instead of all of this scattered energy everywhere. So that was part of my journey in coming back to myself hugely, I believe. So that's so important.
And maybe I'll just add one or other point here. And I love everything you said. A corollary to what we're talking about that is also very helpful is to reduce everything that is noise in your life that is not serving you. Relationships that are not serving you. This is one of the biggest aspects of people's lives that I see in my own practice that really takes them out of presence. Relationships where we're thinking a lot about the relationship, where we're having to recover from emotional injuries, where there could be toxicity. This robs us. This robs us of our presence. So reducing, eliminating, setting boundaries in relationships that are not serving. Even our physical environment, decluttering it. Things that are in our physical environment that are cluttered, that we're not really resonating with us, they also steal our presence. Habits, beliefs, identities that are not in alignment are also stealing our presence. So we want to tune into ourselves, and we want to simplify our life as much as possible so that we can be present as much as possible. This is so helpful to us.
And this is what the work really is, isn't it? We're all out there chasing the shiny objects and the dopamine hits, but the true work, the true things that change your life is that time that you decide to choose to be present with yourself, to choose to be connected with your own life instead of out there looking at everybody else.
So true. Most of our Western societies seem to be founded on numbing and distraction, all taking us away from ourselves, whether it's pharmaceutical medications, whether it's using alcohol or other drugs, whether it's entertainment, shopping, all the things where we're externally trying to source, we're trying to consume the dopamine hits. And what we really want to do is to be present. And I think you just spoke into this a little bit earlier. The greatest contentment I see from people I work with is when they're present and they express themselves. They create rather than numb, distract, and consume.
Beautiful, thank you. You speak beautifully about miracle consciousness. What exactly is that, and how can we begin to access it more consciously?
Yes, beautiful. I love this phrase, miracle consciousness. It feels so delicious in the body. My guidance recently gave me a download about miracle consciousness that I want to share. And that is the only difference between what we might think of as more normal manifestation and miracle manifestation or miracle consciousness is our own limiting beliefs of what we think is possible. And as many of us are more and more aware, we are in a very interesting time period on the planet. We are moving from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, which means we're moving from a lot of corruption, a lot of things being hidden, a lot of hierarchy, to a much freer, more humane, more egalitarian society. We're moving as well at the same time from what we might think of as 3D Earth to 5D Earth, which in part means that what we intend to manifest, to bring into fruition, including miracles, happens much more quickly in the 5D versus the 3D. So along with that, we're entering a period where anything is possible. Where anything is possible. And I'll just give you one example that has been present in my life. I have a twin flame. Maybe some of your audience members are familiar with that term. A twin flame it's really a journey that helps you come back to yourself. It's really more about the relationship with yourself, but your twin flame really catalyzes, triggers you to see all the areas to bring healing. My twin flame committed suicide 2.5 years ago, and he is on his way back into a body, either as a walk-in or materializing his own body. Now, I know this, again, may sound really far out, but what my guidance has also told me is that this will become more and more common as we enter the Aquarian age, the 5D Earth, this ability to move back and forth across the veil much more easily. So we may have limiting beliefs about all of that, about what is possible, what is not possible. And my own guidance has told me that my faith, and my middle name literally is Faith, my faith in my twin flame's ability to come back in a body is in part what is creating that.
Yeah.
That what I would call a miracle. So miracle consciousness is having faith that these miracles can happen. That's miracle consciousness. And what I really advise people to do is just sit with your miracle in your body, outside of your thinking mind, which is where the doubts and fears can come up. And it's okay. We can acknowledge the doubts and fears of our thinking mind. It's okay. That's partly what the thinking mind is there for. But when we sit in our body with our miracle, we may have a knowingness in the body that it is possible. And this is very much part of Christ consciousness, is to stop thinking and keep feeling, sensing your way through from your own knowingness, which of course is in part your connection to divine intelligence, to all that is. You're not just sourcing from your egoic mind, you're bringing in information from the entire quantum field. So our knowingness is taking in all this information.
And when you live from that place, doesn't life feel so much easier?
Yes, and
Because
magical. Yes.
yeah, it's even there was a magical miraculous experience that led to me even being involved in this movie. So everything that I do is based on an intuitive feeling these days. So I can see lots of evidence of somebody will show me evidence that something is not right because it's had bad feedback, say. But I totally don't need to even look at that anymore because I trust my intuition and my feeling so deeply that I'm not bothered.
Absolutely. It's so hard to live from the thinking mind.
Yeah, we
It's
make things
so
much harder for ourselves and we struggle
powerful.
so much
Exactly.
more than we need to.
Exactly. When we live from our inner guidance, our heart mind, our inner voice, as you're saying, it's just very clear. We just follow those nudges within us, the inspiration within us, in spirit.
And the synchronicities are so obvious, aren't they, when you get to this space that you don't question anything anymore. Even me walking into my latest relationship, which I'd not had, I was on my own for 2 years where I decided to focus on self-love. And I didn't care at this point whether I ever had another romantic relationship. But when he came in, the synchronicities were there were so many and it was so obvious that I didn't even have any question about whether this relationship was right. And we're still here 3 years later, and it's a beautiful relationship. We've never even had a cross word with each other. So
Ah,
it's a completely different way of living, isn't it?
that is
But
beautiful.
again,
Yes.
there's that trust, isn't there? There's that trust in your intuitive guidance above all of that noise up in the head or with the people around you that try and tell you that things are not right or not safe.
Yes.
And it takes a lot to just keep following your own path without anybody stopping you.
Yes, yes. I believe it's one of the most courageous things we can do in our society is to just trust ourselves, regardless of the external opinions. Yes.
How do you see self-love and miracle consciousness working together in our lives?
That's a great question. I think as we bring more self-love, we embody more self-love, we feel more deserving of miracles. I think they go hand in hand. That's what I've seen on my own journey and with clients that we may have been programmed to think, well, I'll just settle for the life I have. It's not that bad. But when we really tune into self-love, hey, I want to experience the desires that are in my heart. I want to give that to myself, to my inner child. And then we can reach for the miracles. We can manifest those greater heartfelt desires when we feel deserving of them. And
Absolutely.
we all are deserving of them. My guidance always tells me we are all here to manifest the dreams in our heart. Why else would they be there?
Mm.
They're not there to make us feel sad that we're not having them. They're there to motivate us. They're there to expand us, and we are here to experience all of our dreams in our lives.
And if we slow down enough, we can witness multiple miracles every day that are just there for us. That when we're moving too quickly, we just pass them by, don't we? We don't even recognize them, but they're there. And I wish more people would slow down to see that.
Yes, absolutely.
What message would you share right now with someone who feels called to live a visionary life but is afraid to take the leap?
Yeah, what a beautiful question. One of my favorite prayers is show me the way. So whatever we might desire and feel maybe scared about or out of our comfort zone, I really suggest to have a daily practice of setting your intentions for the day, for your life. So it could be something as simple as I'm setting the intention to live a zero limits life. And Spirit, God, the universe, please show me the way. So we ask for help, we ask for assistance, and then just see what comes in. See the people that are going to come into your life, the books that are going to flow in, your own internal nudges and inspirations. When we ask for help from the divine, it is always there. And literally, we can all be always in a one-on-one workshop with the divine, with our higher self. Show me the way. It is a very powerful daily practice.
Thank you. And it's so important, I think, because I think a lot of people forget that they can ask for help, that support is there, and that we're never alone. Even if you live alone and you have no people that you're connected to, you're not alone. And that's probably the most powerful gift I had in those 2 years that I did spend alone, quite isolated, but I never felt alone because I always felt that there were a magnitude of spirit and angels and God supporting me. So it's so powerful when you understand that you can ask and you will be supported, and just trust that too. You mentioned books there, and I know, Dr. Tassel, that you've got a book that you're releasing later this year called The 10 Initiations. Can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yes, thank you so much. The 10 Initiations is a guidebook to your hero's journey. And I do believe that we all have the invitation in this lifetime to be on a hero's journey. And what that means to me is to come back home to ourselves, to release everything that is not serving us, and to truly move through our own challenges, our own initiations, to lead the life of our dreams, to create the miracles in our lives. And so there's 10 initiations, and there's a bonus initiation. An 11th initiation is miracle making at the very end of the book. And a lot of the book is channeled from my higher self, from the divine. And I share a lot of universal principles of the universe. One that I'll share that has brought me a lot of healing and comfort is the principle of order of magnitude. And this comes from when I work with people through their traumas and their challenges. We focus on who they have become rather than what happened, the trauma that happened. Of course, we process that and we feel the feelings there. But when we're done with that, we then focus on who the amazing person that has been cultivated in this soil of the challenges. And the principle of order of magnitude is that to the same degree that we are challenged by our traumas or by our initiations, it's that degree of gifts and treasures that we receive. So that can really help us look at our challenges, our initiations in a new light. That, okay, that was really hard. Oh my gosh, that was really painful. And to an equal degree, I grew so much. I expanded so much as soul. So I have found that very comforting on my own journey and through my own traumas to realize they really helped make me who I am today. I would not be the person I am. I would not have the gifts I had for it not to be having experienced those difficulties. So that is very comforting, I think.
Absolutely. And that's where I came into acceptance with the things that happened to me physically. That had those things not happened to me, I'd still be in a job that I hated. I would still be in that relationship that was toxic. The very fact that I had these things happen to me, is what slowed me down and made me pay attention to my body and and the truth of who I am. So it sounds like a powerful book, and I can't wait to read it. So, Dr. Tassel, if anybody else wants to follow your journey with the release of your new book as well, can you let us know where they can find you?
Yes, I want to share two URLs on the internet. First of all, I have a free miracle group. I run a miracle hour every Wednesday evening, and it's completely free. And we talk about miracles. We learn more about how to bring miracles in our lives, and we hold the miracle visions for each other, which is very powerful in bringing in miracles. So if anyone would like to join the free miracle group, please go to my website. It's drtasselShanebrook.com. And you can just contact me through there and join our amazing miracle group. And then I also have a free self-love kit to help activate our own self-love. It's 5 different self-love guided meditations to help bring us more into self-love. And that you can find at meettassel.com/self-love.
Wow, thank you, Dr. Tassel. Those gifts sound beautiful, and we'll pop the links in the show notes. Is there anything else that we haven't discussed that you'd like to share before you leave us?
Yes, I'll just say one final thing here. I would love to express to you, Katie, and to all the beautiful people listening, and I may start to tear up as I say this, the deepest gratitude and honoring to you being on the planet at this time. It's not always easy to be here. I believe all of us are here to transform the planet, to bring in the light, to bring us to the new earth. And just, I hope everyone can deeply honor yourself on your journey here. It's not always easy, and we are very grateful that you are here.
Beautiful, thank you. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Katie. It was an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
So ask yourself, is this for me? Give yourself some boundaries. Learn to trust your intuition now.
Hi, my name is Dr. Solveig Berg. I am the founder of the Conscious Reading Academy for field reading practitioners, and I'm also the author of the book You Too Can Be Clairvoyant, and one of the authors of the collaboration Entangled No More, both published by Soulful Publishing with Carey. And I'm here to recommend you the collaboration with Carey, especially for my solo book. I was so grateful and thankful that she took care of both the publishing and the marketing process, and I could fully concentrate on the contents of my book and on my message to the outside world. And it absolutely helped me with my personal growth. It's another step to just talk about things and then to write it and have it written down and have it documented somewhere, black on white, in the form of a book. And there's no better way to get your message out. Plus that you will gain so much more growth, personal growth, and you will also shift. You will shift a lot in your reality, and you will make yourself so much more visible, and it will change your life. So I can really recommend. Take the help of a professional, and Carey is a professional in her field. So take contact with Katie if you want to collaborate with her. And you can always take contact with me if you want to also try out to be clairvoyant, because you are. You can read it in my book, and there's my academy starting in September and October this year in English language too. So looking very forward to you. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Soulful Valley